Hello, welcome back to this beautiful galaxy where heretics are everywhere. You just scan this planet, nothing here. Now, apparently you have unlimited time unless you do the mission. So, for example, if you go on a planet, the game will advance its time. So, for example, if you go on Urak 5 the first time, you will have a different outcome on the other planets. So, anyway, more or less. But, for example, if you go first of all on Rakadis Minoris, when you arrive on Urak 5, you might discover things are in a worse shape or you don't get the rewards for doing it. So, I think you will not get the rewards for disassembling the station. I'm not sure what we got from disassembling the station. It should have been a little more clear. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because that's what the game is. It seems like it's the same problem since the beta. They haven't really designed the system to be more evident, more obvious. And probably they should have just made it so it's more clear what happens when time passes or when you choose to do another mission instead of another one. Anyway. What are we doing here?
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
This is a very nice room over here with a natural fire on a spaceship. And of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves. And I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Oh.
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you. Your servants are somewhat sluggish when it comes to attending a noblewoman of the Navis nobility, but they are quite tolerable. Thank you for your concern.
Adjust the adornment on her forehead and upperly hides her clawed fingers, folds of her clothes. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, I think this is part of the new romance option. This was not in the beta, and I think you can romance certain characters, which is totally disgusting to me because, well, anyway, you kind of get the point, but it's a modern thing. I think that everyone will just copy what they did in Baldur's Gate 3, and that's a bad thing for gaming, in my opinion.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting. Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I. I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
The problem with all of this is that this is not formed a long time and is not really natural. This is so unnatural, so weird, and so silly and so stupid that it makes me wonder why do people have to ruin such a good story with stupid stuff like this that completely throws out of the story. I guess they didn't want to include it in the beta so people didn't get the wrong idea about the game, and so they put it in the full release so people wouldn't really have a choice over here. Yeah, this is so forced on the character. I mean, I did nothing to interact with this character this way. It's a scene that was triggered automatically. Mind what you see from now on. Yeah, that. Okay, for the sake of just because Cassia is so well made, written, and so on, I'll just inquire more on this.
Lord Captain? So many colorful sparks are flaring to life.
Yeah, whatever.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station. Of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So, why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls, and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
Why not? Just because I like WarHammer 40k and she's a mutant.
Lord Captain, what do you think you are doing? Saying such a thing to someone with whom you are barely acquainted?
You started the romance, and that's the problem. This is not how you should start it. I got an achievement for starting a romance, which seems like it's the totally opposite way of anime. Like I said, Baldur's Gate 3 probably ruined gaming forever with those silly things they added into the game, and it doesn't make sense. Why would it go? So the point of this was just for me to come here, read the book, and then leave. So see, this is the watered down WarHammer 40k universe, the broad audience WarHammer 40k universe. I mean, look at how tragic and everything is so bad right now, and we're just having time to do this, so it kind of disconnects you from the real story, and it gives you the impression that everything is okay and it will be very, very okay, and you have time to fool around. Yeah, our captain was assassinated, our spy master was a heretic, we lost probably half of our crew, there is a heretical invasion, there is a warp storm, so we cannot leave this place, even if we had engines here probably. Anyway, there are so many things. Yeah, at least Argenta will set us straight, right?
Greetings. Gladly, there are none more faithful to the It
It's
is.
a lot of lore.
Even the each such wearing. Once I had the order sent me to foot. None that I'm aware. About me. I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was. Sadly, they did not. It happens even to the. On one of the recently discovered planets. The path. I hadn't been here. During the last journey, Seneschal was. But not all. As you wish. This ship was targeted by heretical pirates. So.
That's a lot of dialogue, as you can see. There's fully voiced lines.
I first came. As you wish.
My character's like. Abelard doesn't have that luxury, of course. Okay, what do you want to speak with Cassia again?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulate. I am a part of House Orselio, an ancient dynasty of the Navis nobility. Since time immemorial, our family has served to advance knowledge, pushing at the boundaries of the dark and uniting the Imperium's thousands of worlds. House Orselio is bound by commercial pacts to houses Galeatis, Ortina, Drotus, and... There is a dark blue knot tightening on your neck, Lord Captain. I can see my reply is not satisfying your You will? That would be most appreciated, Lord Captain. Hardly. According to the chronicles of the house, I was born on one of the Orselio worlds. Oh, what was it? Please forgive me, Lord Captain. My childhood memories are too vague. Sometimes I dream about the colorful bird. My stay on the station was wholly dedicated to preparing me for my future duty. Astromancy, astrography, numerology, the histories of my house and the Imperium, as well as other disciplines. For many years, dozens of instructors tirelessly prepared me for my destiny. And once a year, the Regent gave me a bird from a sunlit planet once. I tried to befriend it and make it sing, but for some reason, it refused, and died soon after. The instructors were too respectful of my duty. And since the subject has been breached, Lord Captain, why do you not follow this honored tradition? Your decks are so garish. Apologies, I meant noisy. The rabble don't just chatter. Sometimes they shout and even sing. Why do you allow such a lack of restraint? Please forgive me, Lord Captain. I was sure it was a sacred tradition made sacrosanct by the ancient vows of obedience. I expect more. The Navigator's open eye is baneful to whoever the warp's ruinous shine falls upon, and therefore it is the symbol of our power. We are the guiding stars of Besides, I am aware that lesser servants of the Imperium may find our appearance repulsive. The Navigator gene twists the features the rabble are used to seeing, and the magnificence of our role cannot be grasped by their feeble minds.
Well, she's ugly, but I don't know. I like her character mostly, and also, it's WarHammer 40k.
Lord Captain, you are overstepping the bounds of...
Yeah.
It may be difficult to describe. You see, every navigator perceives the warp differently. My mentor, Great Regent Alronto. But everything changed when I found my own key to this mystery. You see, I've always brightened up my rare moments of leisure time by painting. You may recall there was a workshop in my chambers. As soon as I imagined the warp as a blank canvas, an indescribable feeling came over me. The Emperor graced me with a gift. I can see inner life in addition to the mundane. You cannot know that a fruit has rotten from the inside until a blade slices it in two. I can see the rot from far away. You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain. As the only voice of our family on this vessel, it is... Oh, yes! The navigators of the house came to the Coronis. Just as a rogue trader stands at the head of a protectorate, a Novator heads a navigator house. It is the Novator who decides where to look for alliances and which path their bloodline is destined to tread. As for our house, the transfer of power to a successor is currently underway. In the meantime, Great Regent Alronto Orselio is... so says Regent Alronto. Nothing is decided yet. Some people in the house become enshrouded in rolling gray clouds at the thought of me becoming the Novator. But even more are bound with dull leaden chains. They think I am... By all means. Sister Argenta shines like a guiding star, inspiring resolve in those around her, seemingly inexplicably. However, Seneschal Viserion is among the few whose colors are a pleasure to look at. Whenever the Seneschal speaks, heavenly crystal clarity spreads around him. And whenever he is angered, dark blue clouds condense over him. And in his rare moments of joy, a pure gleam of sunset pink caresses the souls of those near him. Out of your entire retinue, Lord Captain, he is the only one I would trust with my life.
This is why I like him. Besides, I like it that he introduces me to our or new friends or new enemies and so on. When anyone asks us who we are, we just say Abelard introduce us.
Idira's emotions are like a maelstrom, bright, unbridled, enveloping her form like a wondrous kaleidoscope of colors.
Yeah, she's a heretic.
Right here? Are you sure?
And we never even started it, but we can end it.
Of course. I have enjoyed your company.
Yeah, I think Baldur Gate will spoil everything for a very, very long time.
Lord Captain, as you wish. I am a widower. I am a father of 4. You could say there was... Of course. Lord Captain.
Somehow I think all of the characters should have all of their voice line, all of the dialogue being voice lined. Not just some characters who tend to speak a lot more than the others. Okay, that was 15 minutes of dialogue, and it could have been 40 minutes of dialogue if I would have read everything out loud. I mean, I do read everything that they're speaking about. I can hear Master Viserian's voice in any case. Wow, we cannot even move 1 second before an event triggered. Fine, well, listen to it. Yeah. I don't think this is good enough. This is not good enough. There are too many. The whole romance thing shouldn't have been introduced into the game because it makes no sense in the context of what's happening now. The characters should have had equal opportunities to develop and, you know, tell you more about them and do their quests and have quests, of course. What's happening here? Yeah, I like him. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. I apologize, I want to speak to Lord Captain. Okay, what do you want? Speak. I'll not tolerate. Yeah, this was one of the reviews. So someone said an officer came, or I don't know what was the context, but someone said in a review, someone came with a reasonable demand and I executed them. Because making them, because reasonable demands are not welcome. Punishment. Okay, say what you want. An assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks to crush the workers by any means necessary. Oh, it's that event. Scale actions of Seneschal Verserian. Known as informing of an insurrection. The lower decks are in a revolt. 8 years later, we are still battling the rumors the hero survived the execution. We have enough troops to keep it under control. The word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. Well, if you say so. I don't think so, but I like the the way that is described. The forces found a cultist amulet with the body of someone who had been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it immediately. Cleansing ritual opened an investigation. I shall speak for as long as I see fit. Mass punishment for entire sectors, and people are very angry about that. Few worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. What is Deep of War? One of the poorest sectors of the lower decks. Laborers. And they do take a long time to get to the point. I mean, They could have just given us the point of all of this 5 minutes ago, I think. Leave the bridge and never disturb me. I'll verify the decision. It's just a little quest to find extra loot. Again, you're just taking loot off your ship, which doesn't make sense to me because it's your ship all anyway. They could have just given you a lot of free resources to start with. But okay, I guess we're not going to plan it today. We're solving a minor argument. But believe me, you need to come here and do this personally, otherwise you lose a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What are they throwing? Rotten tomatoes? I deeply regret that I can replace all of the locals with servitors. Yeah, they do sometimes. These people dare to respect a senior officer? They wouldn't have the chance to express such disrespect if we're not here. The junior officer was falling. Okay. Yeah, they're just a lot of nonsense. You'll see what I mean when we get to the bottom of this little incident.
A new challenge for me.
All over the gravel.
Look no further.
Nice hat. It's wonderful to see everyone
I won't
healthy and without
tolerate
injuries.
weakness.
Yes, there is a valve puzzle that we'll do at the end.
None shall stand in my way.
You just have to press the valves in the correct order and then you'll get
Follow my lead.
an item or something. It's not much. It's just there for... I don't know, it's just a little puzzle to design to keep you busy for 10 or 15 minutes. And rotten chaos infested tomatoes. My look in my sector. There are only 3 people who can waltz in here without my express permission. The first officer, Abelard, rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. Not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. My people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. There's some locals on the way. Oh, they saw the assault unit. They assume there's nothing left to lose. Okay, that's true. Then fell slightly. You give the assault unit permission to open fire. That's all you have to say. Yeah, by the way, of course they are heretics. What do you think they are? They are really heretics for what they are doing, but I'm just going to solve the issue with compassion, even though I know it's the wrong thing to do this time. Crude weapons, simple clothing, and various levels of mutation. From the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. Hmm. What's troubling you? Striking? All we're doing is asking questions. No, you're striking. The damn enforcers are over us down here. They say you're looking for cultists. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. They turn off the heating to the whole base for a week at a time, so we get sick and freezing. My clan 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs. Yeah. True, Vent is the only officer who stood up for us. What about that heretical object that was found in your possession? The Gigo, what they found on the dead drunkard? No, they're heretics. They took it off a dead body. There are no cultists here. Yeah, they all worship the Emperor. And sometimes the machine spirits, right? We were told, sister, but that was a long time ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector was just after I had my third little one. Would you blame when beasts crawl out of the amulets from stole from the heretics? Usually the chaos gods are meant to be kept as a secret. It's not like everyone needs to know about them and no one... I guess this is where the game kind of drops the ball a little bit. It should be a secret, but since this is a rogue trader vessel and of course people need to know about stuff like this because we are kind of like on the edge of the galaxy, it makes sense, but again, they have a weird way of putting it. Also, he authorized the necessary measures, but he didn't know what happened. Why were we attacked? They have been pushed to them. That's no... They clearly recognize the first officer. Again, this is what I meant by when I said Abelard is not respected, and the entire questline is based on you making peace, but at the same time disrespecting Abelard, and that's what I cannot really agree with. There should be a middle ground. There should be a way to help Abelard and these people as well, not make stupid choices like this, because it's clear what the right choices is. What the right choice is. What changes do you want? Don't enforce us to stop battering everything that moves. And go on and we want to be armed. What? We want the enforcers gone from here and we want to be armed. Give us guns and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend us. Okay, yeah. This is a good moment in history to remind people that give us guns will never be as fun as it sounds. Are they mad? That's like asking for open insurrections. We've gone for all now. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without enforcers. They probably insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. Yeah, of course we do. As for the weapons, what do we need them for? Why do you need weapons if you want to govern yourself? That doesn't make sense, because you don't need the weapons if everything is okay, and if everything is not okay, then you need the enforcers. Of For the first doubt, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity. Like, exactly like it happened in a certain country in Europe in 2022. This is exactly what happened in another country where they gave people guns so they can cover themselves. Because it was, you know, it is still. They'll find the scavenger. Country will change. Putting anarchy on the ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into our trained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands or I'll consider the rest. Fine. I'll withdraw them, I'll give you weapons. Let's see how you do it on your own. Oh. No, never. I'll look at the car with shrugs and cast a side look. I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rock trader, let alone talk to them. You two are ganging up on me, is that so? You're so brave against an old woman, but I'll shut up, yeah, old people don't care about the future. Make your peace. Oh, I wanted to click on your thoughts, Abelard. Ah well. That would have been my choice either way.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Now let's steal from the poor. Now about the valve puzzle, I need to remember where the first one was.
A new challenge for me?
Over there!
Excellence matters.
And that should activate us. Yeah, we can use the valves now. Yeah, you just have to turn them in a
It's
certain
about
order.
time.
That was the correct one.
None shall stand in my
And
way.
this is actually part of the story, you'll see what I mean.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I don't think you need to do it in a certain order, you just need to do it.
We need to investigate.
And that's the package we need. Ah, come on. Yeah,
Victory awaits.
he's not very happy about this because they already knew how to deal with the situation. Machine right set.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Okay, let's see if this is the right one. As far as I know, this is the only thing you can do. Which is activate the valves so you can get the goods from here.
Done.
Which are quite nice. Metal charges, multi-keys, and finally crack grenades and force grenades. That would be amazing for Abelard. You can only equip one grenade at a time, so if you have 3 grenades, it will only be one equipped. I guess you can also give some grenades to her. Yeah, good idea, right? And that's kind of it. As you can see, all
new
of the
challenge
valves have
for me?
disappeared now. You don't have to interact with all of them, you just have to interact with a few of them in a certain order. Okay, so you just release the pressure from some valves and you allow the pressure to travel to other
Follow
ones. So
my
that's why
lead.
it pushed the package out, or I don't know what it did, but that's kind of it. That's the whole thing solved. I think Abelard will want to speak with us after this incident, and I think this is the last cheap event we have in this sector. He's unhappy with this. He's standing in the rotten tomatoes infested with chaos that they threw at him. Are you pleased with your investigation? You caught out with the disloyal rabble. He's right. He is right. You allowed this revolt to happen. There is some truth to her criticism. They needed to trust me. He's right. He's actually right about that. Again, they needed voice line for this situation because it does such a great job of explaining how the universe works in Warhammer 40k. Even though people think this is the best way to solve it, this was actually the worst way, and they were really heretics. Remember Theodora, do you think she ever put one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. She let myself and the junior officers handle it. As any true strategist and rogue trader would. Oath. That's just very, very hurtful to say. I don't see any. I would only be willing to trust my snatcher and ask my head with such matter, but the situation spiraled out of your control. Yeah, you're right, at least as concerning junior officers. At least as concerns junior officers make it compare. I lost my temper, and I believe I ought to explain myself. Explain yourself. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. Rogue traders do not simply forge new roads or capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. Exactly, the creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time. Exactly, they are creating order, not just doing all of those things. A good real-life parallel. People in the army think they're creating order, but they're only creating anarchy, in a way. Or continuing the anarchy. Go off on the flagship for long periods to distant frontiers. And the advantage of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. Begin to quake. Exactly. One of the senior officers betrayed us all, the rogue trader was killed. Who knows what is happening on the planets? Hey, I get what he's going for. The future, I'll follow your recommendation. Why fix what is not broken? Exactly.
I won't tolerate weakness.
You will enforce weakness. Yeah. I think a lot of people are just too concerned about modern politics to play a game like this and to understand what the game is trying to tell you. I mean, look at how disconnected the first event was compared to this one. The romance, the beginning of the romance was so silly and so stupid, awkward and imposed and just not natural at all. And this event over here was very, very natural and well explained and good story, and those people were heretics. But on the other hand, I think they're mostly harmless now, since everyone will be much better prepared if someone tries to do a revolt on us or a mutiny. We'll scan it, but will not sit here. Button. What button? I didn't catch what they said, but anyway, doesn't matter. Oh! What did I... why did it skip to the next one? Additional... an identify and battle damage vessel in an asteroid field. Establish communication. Do not tell him we are done for. We are a merchant vessel. We are just a merchant vessel. All breaches caused by the guns of a combat ship. Why can we not identify you? I don't know, what if certainly not? We're just flying, minding our own business straight out of the blue and opened fire. Crossed the hotel, bombed everything the folks. Main gun and mortar aim weapons, target Thunderfang. Okay, tell me the truth. We are the Fellowship of the Void. We didn't come here to loot, we have different business to help our own out of jail. Yeah, their cargo is full of plunder, means goods. I would wait until the vessel for you. The multiple aspects, yeah. There are much supply of goods to the local market. Prepare for commercial exchange. And yeah, this is where you have to deal with the profit factor and some other things that you don't really want to deal with, right? Right. They have a lot of interesting stuff, but the trading works in such a weird way. Okay, I guess it's a good time to end it, and we'll continue from here next time. Bye bye.